I'm seeing so many guys out there talking about the loneliness epidemic. Oh, yeah, and everyone talking about that. Now they're lonely and this and that. It's like, you had friends? Hey, I've been lonely since I got out of school.
Lonely chapter thing that I keep harping on about is just such an unseen problem that a lot of people face. If you imagine personal growth or growing as a person as kind of like being a rocket ship taking off from Earth, and you're moving at a particular velocity, and there's other people around you, and some are ahead of you, and some are behind you, and some took off at the same time, and you're moving along, but if you start to overtake other people, you end up leaving them behind. And this isn't a value judgment about who's better or who's worse. It's simply that the language that you use to communicate to these people and the things that you've got going on in your life and the type of challenges that you're facing are at the altitude that you are at. The challenges that they're facing are just fundamentally different because the altitudes have changed. So one of the problems that you have is if you're a very quick moving velocity, you found people after you improved yourself and now it looks like you're going to break through another time. That's something difficult that you're going to have to let go of. It feels like survivorship bias. You're leaving behind a group of people that maybe you grew up with. It's a price of doing business, cost of entry to growing quickly.
Loneliness is a human epidemic, and it doesn't matter where you are in the world because there's different flavors of loneliness. You know, in the Western world, we've got a obsession with independence and an obsession with almost acting the opposite of trustworthy. Like, go for what you want, no matter the cost to anyone else is kind of the Western motto. Obviously, when you've got the whole, let's say all the whites, right? They essentially over the course of evolution have been moving in these ways and adapting in these ways that are not conducive to the group. Whether it's, I'm going to go leave my family and cross an ocean and start a whole new life there, which is only a few generations ago.
Dude, men are lonely, bro. People don't seem to understand that. 77% of suicides, men. Every 5 minutes, a man commits suicide. Dude, like, who's going to step up and be like, yo, I got you guys. Like, hey, you know, there's a couple guys, but obviously they're getting censored. Community is extremely important. And people bash and shit on communities, but communities that are oriented towards the development of self and authenticity will stand the test of time.
I see so many people who have jobs, even have girlfriends, boyfriends, have friends, and they feel so incredibly lonely. And if I'm lonely, like, I need to put myself out there. So what I'm gonna do is transform myself. I'm gonna focus on my social skills. I'm gonna get a good haircut. I'm gonna learn how to dress. I'm gonna start working out. I'm gonna become professionally successful. And now that I've become something that I can be proud of, I'm gonna go interact with other people and look at they're going to love me because now I'm sexy and I'm successful and I know how to talk to people and I'm going to talk to them in this way and I'm going to do eye contact and I'm going to do all of the things.
Why are you doing that accent?
To connect with you, to make you like me, right? Okay. Now you're laughing, so now I feel okay because now I know, oh, Steven's laughing. He likes me, I'm likable. So what we actually do is we create a false version of ourselves for people to love. And that's what really screws us because they don't fall in love with us. They don't like us. They don't like the broken, pathetic kid that I used to be. They like this glossy, polished version.
It's just a way of life. Look, the friends you have at a young age ain't always going to be your friends. Because you're meant to develop, you're meant to grow. And as you grow, you require different principles from people, different surroundings. See, when a plant grows, it ain't always going to be in the soil. It's going to start to grow, start to hang around with other trees. And then after that, onto the canopy. That's just the nature of life. Don't be afraid to be lonely in life. Because life isn't lonely. There's so much to do in life, so many people to meet. You don't have to put yourself in a cell and stick around the same people your whole life. Now, if you're blessed with a good friend, and a good friend is someone who will stick by your side all the time, not just someone you've known for a long time. Because you can know a lot of people for a very long time, and when tough times come, they'll leave. It's like you've never even met each other. And the wiser you become and the more experienced you become in life, the more you understand that fact. The more you become aware of your surroundings and people's innate selfishness. Most people these days, especially in this society, they're only after their own survival. They don't care about anything else. And yes, you may be caught up in the same environment, same settings. If you work together, you have work colleagues. But don't mistake a true friend that cares for you for someone that is stuck with you. You don't really have a lot of things that you share together, but you're just stuck together in the same place. It's like your cellmates, your prison mates, and you're forced to like each other. Now, I've always been a free soul, and I always just felt stuck in friendship groups. I never really belonged to any particular group all throughout my youth, and now really even. It's just that I've always been chasing life. And when you grow and progress through life, you just constantly move. You constantly evolve into something new. And what you'll find is that friendships, groups and tribes, they limit you somewhat. They will put a cap on you, a limitations that you can't do, can't go out. And it really sucks. Honestly, it does, because I remember being young, having a lot of friends, and whenever I talk to them about some things like goals, this and that, they just had a completely different mentality. And you'll be surrounded by a lot of negative people too. And yeah, they're good people, you like them, you have, you laugh together. But at the end of the day, those are just sharing the day, break bread with people. But when it really gets deep and when life really gets serious, none of those people will really be around for you. So it's better to be alone and get further in life than to stay around those type of people, those negative and pessimistic people. Because most of the times those people will talk behind your back anyway. And the wiser you become, the more you realize that. And the more you value yourself. Because if you value yourself, you're not going to be staying around and hanging around with people that talk behind your back. Someone who disrespects you deserves no respect, none whatsoever. Deserves no time, no friendship, no. Like none of that. So being alone ain't always bad, as long as you're doing good. And I ain't saying don't have any friends. I'm just saying to focus yourself, befriend yourself. Be a friend to yourself first. Cater to you. Be kind to yourself. And everybody else will see that. And your action towards others will also be kind, because that's all you do to yourself. And that's what will also be expressed and showcased to others. And you can't be a friend to everyone, because a person who is a friend to everyone is an enemy to himself. You have to look at the things within yourself that you need to attain, you need to cater to, you need to communicate within yourself and say that I need to do this or I need to do that, irrespective of other people's opinions, whether they be your friend or not. So it's really important to move through life without the constraints of others. And if you find good friends, keep them. They're a treasure. Treat them well and always be there for them as well. But a true friend isn't high maintenance. You don't have to see them every single day. You don't have to be with them. You don't have to talk to them all the time to keep up, keeping up appearances. A true friend, if you left them now and then you come back 10 years later, they'll be exactly the same feelings. It will be exactly the same enthusiasm and the same warmth of embrace that they will welcome you with. That's what a true friend is. Now, if you look around your surroundings, your peers, your groups, can you say that about them? If you left them now, are they going to be there in a year, 2, 5, or 10? Use this test, because I used this when I was younger and I was shocked. Try to not message anybody in your friend group. See who reaches out first to you. See who checks up on you. Then you'll know who your true friends are. Because most of the times, and in reality, your circle, most people, they're not your friends. They're just familiar faces, acquaintances you've grown accustomed to. Don't be tricked by it. See them for who they are. Now, I ain't saying be an arsehole and, just cut ties and everything. But just live your life. And if they're there to support you, then they're your friend. And they'll stay with you. But if not, they'll leave. And they will never be your friend anyway. And having no friends actually, from my experience, is that it made me focus on myself. It made me a highly functional individual. Because I got to focus on my dreams, my passions. Everything that I've wanted to do, I've done. I ain't got to wait. If I want to go eat at this place, I can eat alone. And I'm strong for it. Because I don't need other people's confirmation to reaffirm who I am as a person. My confidence in myself. I got that on my own. Because I built it. And that's the beauty of being alone. You get to be strong. Now when the right time comes, yes, go together, be together, find your good friends. But you have to first develop yourself in the meanwhile. Until you found that, you can't be a good friend to anyone. And being alone actually makes you go faster in life, because you don't have to ask for permission. If you want to go watch the cinema, do that. But when you have friends, it's like, oh, what time are you available? Or what time are you doing this? It's like, oh, I can't do it this time, I can't do it that. And it's like, most of the times you don't even go to the trips that you planned, because other people ain't up for it. But if you just do it on your own, you're always going to be able to go. So just keep that in mind. Like, a lot of the times, friends can keep you down. If you watch the movie Good Will Hunting, it's like that. But unfortunately, most people aren't good enough to even let you go. They will keep you down with them. And then when you finally get tired of all of that, you try to move on with your life, find a better place and become a better person, they start to say like, oh, you've changed. or you ain't this, you ain't that anymore, or you think you're better than us. It's like, nah, I don't think I'm better than you. I just want to be different. I don't want to be doing the same things over and over again until I'm old. We only get one chance at life, and you don't want to be wasting that. Living alone could be the best thing you can do because it makes you stand in your own. It teaches you to be strong. It drowns out all the noise of the world, and you can hear your voice clearer. Everything that you want, you desire, what you truly want in life and who you truly are starts to speak to you when you become alone. You just gotta overcome like the social stigma of others viewing you as someone who's a loner and this and that. It's like, so what? I get to do what I want, and I get to go in the direction I want without others redirecting me. I don't have to rely on other people's opinion of me to be me. I simply am. And that's a freeing perspective. Coming to that realization of you can be whoever you want and whatever you want to do, it's empowering to you. So don't be put down by people that look down on you just because you're alone. No, be happy, have peace. Because at the end of the day, every single person in this world, every group, every tribe is after one thing. That's peace and happiness. Every single one of those have different paths in trying to achieve that and trying to get to that destination. But at the end of the day, if you have peace, if you have happiness genuinely within yourself, even if you've done it alone, then that's the only thing that matters. As a matter of fact, most of the times, you'll find that finding peace and happiness can only be found alone. When you look at the world around you and they're celebrating, they have friends, and this and that and everything. They look so happy, they look so full, surrounded by so many people. They're the emptiest people. Know that. There's nothing to be envied in their lifestyle. There's nothing to be envied in their life because it is empty. Shallow friendships. None of those people caring for them. You're in a room surrounded by people yet you feel alone because you are alone. None of those people care for you. So build a life where you can find good people around you. And if you can't find that yet, be that good person within you, even if you have to be alone for a while, for some time. I mean, me, I've been alone for like years, and I've just been so happy at that. I've gotten to meet so many different friends, so many different people, groups, and every single time I've maintained good connections, but I've never stuck to them. I've never stuck to one, but I've always been the good person within myself, and they've experienced that because I was able to develop a friend in me so that I will never be alone. And that's the secret of life. That's the secret of happiness. Right now I may be on my own, but because I've been kind to myself all those years, and because I have eliminated all the negative friends and toxic relationships I've had, I've come to a point where the voice in my head is nothing but pure positivity and goodness. No matter the situation in life, no matter the storm I go through, it will always remain calm and smooth sailing. Because the peace within myself can never be shaken. It's like a lighthouse in the middle of the night and a fortress in the middle of war. So everything that you really need in life to feel full is found within you. You have to be alone in order to see everything in yourself, all your potential, all your dreams, all the talents that you have, the passion, the ideas. You can't develop that surrounded by so much noise around you. So you have to be alone and find peace in that. And as an artist myself, if you just drown out the noise of the world and you just sit down, meditate, close your eyes, that is when the greatest ideas come. It's so full. The whole world is alive when you're alone. And life speaks to you. And there's this great quote by Nikola Tesla. And it says, "Be alone. That is the secret of invention. Be alone. That is when ideas are born." I never understood it when I was a kid, but now that I'm older, more matured and experienced, and I've become an artist myself, I have learned to see that, learned to see the magic, and that everything that is real in life, as ironic as it may seem, is unseen. The most beautiful experiences in life are never seen, they are only felt. And in friendships, just like in life, it's not about a quantity, it's about the quality. It's not about how many friendships you have. It's about how deep those friendships are. One good friend is greater than a million bad ones. If you're feeling alone, don't be sad. Find peace in it. Find yourself in it. And you will always be at peace. Being alone is a special gift, only given to those who are worthy of it. Open it and see the treasure of you. So I hope you like this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Let's grow this thing together and share it to someone who needs to hear this. Thank you so much for watching another episode of The Third Eye. I'm Thirdy, helping you see life in plain sight. See you in the next one. Peace.